A comet is an icy small solar system body that, when passing close to the Sun, warms and begins to release gases. A process that is called outgassing. This produces a visible atmosphere or coma, and sometimes also a tail. The solid core structure of a comet is known as the nucleus. Cometary nuclei are composed of an amalgamation of rock, dust, water ice, and frozen carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, methane, and ammonia. As such, they are popularly described as dirty snowballs. The outer surfaces of cometary nuclei have a very low albedo, making them among the least reflective objects found in the solar system. The Giotto space probe found that the nucleus of Halley's Comet reflects about 4% of the light that falls on it, and Deep Space One discovered that Comet Borealis' surface reflects less than 3.0%. By comparison, asphalt reflects 7%. Because of their low mass, comet nuclei do not become spherical under their own gravity, and therefore have irregular shapes. The streams of dust and gas thus released form a huge and extremely thin atmosphere around the comet called the coma. The force exerted on the coma by the Sun's radiation pressure and solar wind cause an enormous tail to form pointing away from the Sun. As a comet approaches the inner solar system, solar radiation causes the volatile materials within the comet to vaporize and stream out of the nucleus, carrying dust away with them. The streams of dust and gas each form their own distinct tail, pointing in slightly different directions. The tail of dust is left behind in the comet's orbit in such a manner that it often forms a curved tail called the Type II, or dust tail. Uneven heating can cause newly generated gases to break out of a weak spot on the surface of comet's nucleus, like a geyser. These streams of gas and dust can cause the nucleus to spin, and even split apart. In 2010 it was revealed dry ice, frozen carbon dioxide, can power jets of material flowing out of a comet nucleus. Infrared imaging of Hartley 2 shows such jets exiting and carrying with it dust grains into the coma. Most comets are small solar system bodies with elongated elliptical orbits that take them close to the Sun for a part of their orbit, and then out into the further reaches of the solar system for the remainder. Periodic comets or short-period comets are generally defined as those having orbital periods of less than 200 years. Long-period comets have highly eccentric orbits and periods ranging from 200 years to thousands, or even millions of years. The Oort cloud encases the celestial bodies that start at the middle of our solar system, the Sun, all the way to outer limits of the Kuiper belt. It is seen as a possible source of new comets that resupply the relatively tenuous outer cloud as the latter's numbers are gradually depleted. As a comet is heated during close passes to the Sun, outgassing of its icy components also releases solid debris too large to be swept away by radiation pressure and the solar wind. If Earth's orbit sends it through that trail of debris, which is composed mostly of fine grains of rocky material, there is likely to be a meteor shower as Earth passes through. The names given to comets have followed several different conventions over the past 2 centuries. Prior to the early 20th century, most comets were simply referred to by the year when they appeared, sometimes with additional adjectives for particularly bright comets. Thus, the Great Comet of 1680, the Great Comet of 1882, and the Great January Comet of 1910. After Edmund Halley demonstrated that the comets of 1531, 1607, and 1682 were the same body, and successfully predicted its return in 1759 by calculating its orbit, that comet became known as Halley's Comet. From ancient sources, such as Chinese oracle bones, it is known that comets have been noticed by humans for millennia. Until the 16th century, comets were usually considered bad omens of deaths of kings or noble men, or coming catastrophes, or even interpreted as attacks by heavenly beings against terrestrial inhabitants. What do you call a comet that makes music? A rock star,